Hi there, and today I'm going to be turning this Lego delivery van into a Lego delivery railway boxcar, a bit like this one. Now this is set 60500 and it's simply called Lego Van, and it came out earlier this year on January the 1st, 2026. And it was a set which I bought on day one because I'm an absolute sucker for any Lego set which includes Lego sets. And all the minifig scale sets included in this set are all on printed tiles. So we've got the Arctic train there, we've got a camper van, a buggy and a construction set. And they're all reproductions of sets that you can currently buy. But as well as the printed Lego sets, you also got these amazing printed tiles on the side of the van. One facing this way for this side and one facing the other way for the other side. But that's not the first set like this which Lego has made. In 2024 they made this set 6044, which was a giant Lego delivery articulated lorry. Again, it had some superbly printed tiles on the side, only this time much bigger. They were on giant 8x16 tiles. But as with the van, it was absolutely jam full of printed tiles with Lego sets on them. This time we've got the prison island and a spaceship from the Lego City space theme, and an off-road fire truck and a helicopter. But Lego have been making delivery vans and trucks for minifig scale Lego sets for many years. The first one I could find was set 685 from 1972. Now I don't have that set, but I do have this set, which is set 6692, and this one came out in 1983. And as far as I can tell, this is the first Lego delivery truck which was made for minifigures. Now compared to our new delivery van, you can see that this one is only 4 studs wide. We've got our delivery driver inside, and we've got a Lego sticker up here stuck across two 2x2 tiles, because way back in 1983 they didn't make 2x4 tiles. We've got a Lego sticker on each side which is starting to show its age, but unlike the modern delivery trucks, this one's already delivered its load. It's completely empty with no sets inside. Now I've always absolutely loved this slightly weird theme of Lego making miniature Lego sets for Lego people, and recently the Lego delivery van was on offer in my local supermarket, and I thought about buying a second one, but I thought once you've got a Lego delivery van you don't really need another one. But then a few weeks ago, when I made my video about my new 9-volt cargo train set, the idea came to me, why don't I make a Lego delivery boxcar to be pulled by a train? So I bought another one and got started planning on how I could turn this into a Lego boxcar for a railway. So first of all, I'm going to make the most basic of train underframes. We're going to start off with a 2x14, and we're going to stick the standard Lego magnetic couplings and buffers on each end, and then fill in the gap in the middle with a 2x10 like that. And then underneath we're going to pop the standard Lego wheels. I prefer these ones with the metal axle. I find they run a lot more freely than the newer ones with the plastic wheels with the plastic hubs which just click into place. So there we go, we've already got a rolling frame, and then on top of that we're just going to sit a 6x16 plate, and we've already got the start of our train. Now the sides of this look very dull and boring at the moment, so I'm going to steal a technique which is used on set 7898 Cargo Train Deluxe way back in 2006. Now in that set they got a 1x8 plain tile and these 1x2 bracket pieces, and they attached them like that and popped them underneath the sides, one on this side like that, and I've already made a second one, so I'm going to attach that on the other side like that, which gives a little bit of extra sort of space on the side, but still not very interesting. So what I've also bought is the sticker sheet from that set, so we've got some stickers to attach to those tiles. Now in that set there were 4 railway wagons, and we got 4 pairs of these 1x4 stickers to go in the middle of those 1x8 tiles. And I think those stickers just give the side of a train wagon just a little bit of extra detail. And it's a sticker I've used several times before on various train MOCs of mine, including my Coca-Cola tanker wagon. Now inside the van where the pallet of Lego sets goes, you can see we've got a nice smooth tile base with some 1x1 studs to stop the pallet sliding around, and also some panel pieces on the sides to stop it sliding in and out of the van itself. So we're going to follow the same style on our railway truck, and first of all we're going to add some of those smooth grey tiles. This is going to be slightly longer because obviously we don't have a cab like we do on a van, so we're going to eventually be able to fit 2 pallets of Lego sets inside this railway truck. So we've got our tiles there, and then at the ends, like with the van, we've got those modified plates with the 2 studs on, and we're going to add the 1x1 round tiles on top of those to help stop the pallets sliding around. And then around the outside we're going to start adding our first layer of plates. So at this end we're going to have yellow, but like with the van, on that we transition from yellow down to white at the other end. So we're going to do the same on the truck here. We're going to add our two 1x2 panels to stop the pallets sliding out sideways. Then we've got a couple of tiles, and then we transition to white. So we're going to go for some 1x6 white tiles, and then we're going to do the same as this end, have our panel pieces to stop the pallet sliding around, and then a white plate at the end and some corners. And you can see where this is starting to go. Now I wanted to use as many pieces of the original van as possible in the truck, so we're going to completely copy the back end by using some 1x1 by 3 brick high bricks there. And we're going to join them together with the arch like that. And you can see that's exactly the same as inside the truck. And then on the back we've got those doors which you can swing open in case it needs to be unloaded from the end. Now on the delivery van and the delivery truck, they both have these wonderful lift open sides. So we're going to use the same mechanism on our train truck. However, on this end, we're going to make it a little bit more white than it is on the van. So starting with a 2x6 plate, we're going to add a 1x2 on the back there and some 2x2 corner pieces. And then we're going to smooth that off on top by adding 1x2 tiles on each end. And a 1x4 tile across here, and that's going to sit on top and hold those two doors in place like that. Now down the yellow end, obviously on the van we had the cab, and we don't want that on the train version, so we're just going to build that up in bricks. Now the 1x1 by 3 brick we used on the white end has only came out in yellow last year in 2025, and it's only been in 4 sets so far, so it's a little bit difficult to get hold of. So the easiest thing to do is to make it out of 3 1x1s. If I just rub that on the table, it lines all the bricks up together, so we can use them instead, like that. And then on the end, we're just going to have a plain end, so we're going to use 3 1x6s. And then to hold it all together, we're using 2 2x2 corner bricks, like that. And in between, just a 1x2. And that's the wall. We just need to make it up to the same height using plates as we did on the white end. So I've got a 2x6 plate, and I'm putting 2x2 corner plates on each of the corners and a 1x2 in the middle. But instead of using the 1x2s and then a 1x4 down the middle, we're going to put the 1x2s on the end. We're going to leave this bit open because we're going to do the same with this and use these corner tiles later on once we've put the hinges in. So that goes on the top here, like that. Now we just need the bar to go down the middle and the hinge mechanism and the 2 sides. Now the opening doors on the van were only 8 studs long, and they use these black and grey brackets to hold it all together. However, I want my doors to be a lot longer than that, so we're going to have to make this slightly differently. Now we're increasing the length of the side doors on the train by 50% compared to the truck. We're going from 8 studs up to 12 studs. So we're starting on with this 2x12 plate, and then put these Technic brackets on the ends using the same mechanism as we did on the delivery van. Then we're going to pop some 2x4 plates just inside those, and then to hold the panel on the front we're going to use a lot of brackets. So I'm using these 1x2 by 2 brackets hanging down. We're going to have 2 of those on each side. Now I could have done these all the way along, but we had a different bracket in the Lego delivery van, so I thought we might as well make use of that rather than having to buy extra parts. But before that, we're just going to fill up the gaps with these tiles, 1x6, a 1x4 and a 1x4 in the middle, and that's the main part. We just need to add another bracket underneath, and this is the bracket that came in the van set. It's not one of the hanging down ones, it's one of the standing up ones. So we've got a 1x2 plate on the back with a 2x4 on the front. We're just going to stick a 1x2 on top of it like that and click that underneath, and then all those brackets nicely line up ready for our side door. Now to make the door hinge, we're going to click a Technic pin in each end of the part we've made, and we're going to put another one of those brackets on the other end of the pins, Then that part can sit where we've made space for it at each end, and on the yellow end we're going to add that 2x2 corner plate, and that'll help hold it down. So we've got one of our hinge mechanisms, we just need to make another one for the other side. And the one for the other side is built in exactly the same way as the first one, so we can pop that on right next door, like, if it will fit in, there it goes, like that. Again, we're going to stick our 2x2 tile on this end, and then to tidy up the other end we're just going to add two 1x1 tiles like that. Now on the van, the whole of the opening side was that giant 6x8 tile, but obviously we need to extend ours, so we, instead of having this plate along the bottom here, we're going to have more plates extending out the side. So I'm starting off with a 4x12, and I'm going to add that beautifully printed 6x8 tile, and then on top of that we're going to put a 2x8 plate, and then we want to transition onto the yellow side. So we're going to add a 1x6 tile and a 2x2 tile and another 1x6 tile, and then that fantastic looking printed Lego logo. And then behind here we're going to put a 2x4 yellow plate and another 2x2 tile, and that's this side finished. And then we've built exactly the same in reverse for the other side. Now those sides obviously just click onto that massive row of brackets at the top like that, and you can see then we get our transition from our yellow down to our white on each side. So we need to pop this one on the other side, and that goes on like that, and then we have our completed Lego delivery boxcar. And although I think this looks pretty good, it even looks pretty good here as a trailer for the van, we do have two problems with it. The first problem is I think it's slightly understated, and I thought back to the huge delivery truck, and it had that massive Lego logo on the side, and I remembered when that came out I bought quite a few of those. And just by taking off the 2x2s and the 1x6s off the side here, get rid of the logo and the other plate, the other tile underneath it, we could replace it with one of these huge Lego logos instead, and just put a 1x4 tile above and below it. And I think that actually looks nicer, but what do you think? Do you prefer this side or this side? And the second problem is it looks slightly lonely, so the best thing to do, buy another van and do it all again. And as I mentioned earlier, the van, when it opened up, could only store one pallet of Lego sets inside, whereas because we've lost the cab and made it longer, we can store 2 pallets of Lego inside each of the trucks. So the best thing to do next, I think, is to set up some track inside on the kitchen floor, find a Lego freight train and see these going around the track. But just before we do that, a very quick shout out as always to my channel members. Thank you so much for your support, it really is appreciated. And if anyone else is interested in becoming a channel member and getting their name on a book in my videos, you can click on the join button below or the link in the description and that'll tell you how. Or alternatively, if you're buying anything from Lego.com, please use my affiliate link in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything more, but Lego give me a small commission on everything that people buy. So I hope you like my addition to my Lego delivery family of vehicles, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, but most of all, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe for more Lego videos.